young air was being rude, it was late spring, and the roses in the garden were in full bloom. Lucas took out a sketchpad from his backpack as if by magic and started drawing intently, not wanting to disturb him. I stood behind him, watching silently. Without exaggeration, Lucas was the most beautiful man I'd ever seen. He had perfect bone structure and skin as fair as jade. His deep, soul-stirring eyes exuded an air of nobility. Just as I was secretly marveling at the lottery of birth, things took a sudden turn. Lucas seemed dissatisfied with his drawing and crumpled the paper in frustration. I wanted to comfort him, but he suddenly reached out and gripped a thorny rose stem tightly. Blood immediately started flowing, but he didn't seem to feel any pain. Instead, he tilted his head, looking thoughtful. Let go. Quick, let go. I panicked like an ant on a hot pan. Young Mr. Foster was an important guest, and I didn't know what trouble it would cause Uncle Jack if he got hurt under my watch. I called out loudly, but he had no reaction. Left with no choice, I reached out to pull his arm. The moment I touched his sleeve, he suddenly became enraged and pushed me to the ground. I was terrified. His expression was so frightening that I thought he might hit me, but he didn't. He just turned back to continue drawing. Mrs. Foster heard the commotion and hurried over. She seemed used to such incidents and quickly left with her son. After they left, Emma burst into tears. I don't want to get married. I want to go to England. If you force me, I'll kill myself. Uncle Jack was heartbroken but also helpless. Most of the family's business relied on the Fosters. Offending Mrs. Foster would have unthinkable consequences. Aunt Lisa comforted her daughter while secretly glancing at me. The Thompsons don't just have one daughter. Why do you keep focusing on Emma? Emma nodded vigorously. That's right, let Arya marry him. You've raised her for so many years, it can't be for nothing. What are you saying? Lucas is autistic. How could I push Arya into such a difficult situation? Uncle Jack protested. So you'd rather push your own daughter into the fire? Aunt Lisa retorted. Uncle Jack and Aunt Lisa argued all night. I hid in my room, listening silently, and made my decision. The next day, I told Uncle Jack that I was willing to marry into the Foster family in Emma's place. Emma is right. You and Aunt Lisa have been so good to me. It's time for me to repay your kindness, I said. Uncle Jack's eyes turned red as he held my hand, wanting to say something, but in the end, he couldn't get the words out because of Lucas's condition. The wedding was very simple. I thought his willingness to marry meant he was prepared to live with me, but I was wrong. On our wedding night, as soon as I stepped into our room, his face darkened. Get out. This is my room too, I said. You're not allowed to sleep here. I tried to reason with him, to explain the meaning of marriage, but he wouldn't listen. Instead, he tore up all the red double happiness decorations in the room. Helpless, I